Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. I am back at it again playing with some new makeup. I've accumulated some things, I've bought some things, I've been sent some things, and I'm putting it together all in one look for you. I'm gonna be talking about the new Chantecaille Tinted Moisturizer reformulation, the Nordstrom Anniversary Sale YSL palette, a new concealer that I may or may not love, but I really wanna highlight the portion of this video that is in partnership with City Beauty to let you know about their City Lips buy one get one sale that is going on today. For the next couple of days, I will have the dates listed on the screen. All you have to do is add 2 City Lips to your cart, use the code Mandy MUA50, and you will get one free. I have talked about the City Lips plumping lip gloss for a very long time. I have used it for a very long time. I love it so much. It retails for $35. It comes in 15 shades. I have 12 of them. I am going to put up on the screen swatches of 10. The only reason I don't have swatches of these is because they are clear. They're original clear, and then they recently came out with their Midnight Sparkle, which is basically their clear with added shimmer. So these two I didn't swatch because you wouldn't be able to see them as much. But I will go ahead and put the first screen of swatches up, and the first shade going left to right is Tinseltown, which is a cool tone pink with silver glitter. Then there's Los Angeles, which is a cool tone pink with a gold sheen. Tokyo Kiss, which is a sheer cool tone nude with a gold hue. Nude York, warm tone nude with gold glitter. Pink Nude, opaque cool toned pink nude. So you'll see the pink nude is definitely more opaque than the others, which are more of a gloss in itself. And then on slide 2, we have Nude on the left, which is an opaque warm toned classic nude. South Peach, a warm toned sheer peach hue. San Diego, a bright warm tone pink with golden sheen. Coral Sunrise, which is definitely the most opaque of all of them, and it is an opaque high shine orange. And Orchid, which is a cool tone purple with metallic shimmer. These are a plumping lip gloss, and that is due to the hyaluronic acid, which provides that deep moisture. It's got oligopeptides in it, which helps smooth and volumize the lips. And it also has soothing moisturizers for the all-around hydrated, smooth look that this gloss provides for your lips. While it is plumping, it is absolutely not uncomfortable. In fact, I can only feel the plumping effects for, I don't know, maybe 1 minute afterwards, and it's not uncomfortable or burning, and then I feel nothing of the sort. I have on a shade today. It is not something that's gonna look like you got stung by a bee. It's basically just going to naturally plump your lips and make them look smooth and supple, and I love them, and it's a great deal to buy one, get one. So if you wanted to try those, definitely look into that deal. I will be using one in this look. And speaking of this look, let's go ahead and get started. Let's jump on in. All I have is a little bit of the Dermatology corrector underneath my eyes, and we will start out with complexion. And I am going to be using the brand new reformulated Chantecaille Just Skin. This is their Tinted Moisturizer. It has an SPF 15. This is the original, and this is the new. So the main difference right off the bat is the size. There is less product in the new than there was in the old, and it is a ½ ounce. So it's a good amount of product that you're missing in the new one versus the old. These are both the shade Nude. I have a visitor with me, so if you hear some dog noises, you'll know where it's coming from. And I will swatch both of these so you can see how the color comparisons are. They're the exact same. So, at least to me, I'm not seeing much of any difference, honestly. So if you are in one shade in the old, you would get that same shade in the new. It comes in 12 shades. I honestly can't remember how many the old version had, but I feel like that's more than the original one had. Yes, they did extend the shade range. It looks like Chestnut and Mahogany might be new. So from what I understand, this new version, the point of it is to be a little more hydrating on the skin than the original was. I have done them side by side, and the main difference that I have seen is that the new actually has a little bit more coverage on me than the original. It is easier to blend, and it does look a little more hydrating on the skin. However, at the end of a long day with one on each side of my face, I could tell very little difference between the two. So if you loved the first version and maybe just needed a little extra hydration, a little easier formula to blend, then this might be something to look into. I'm gonna be using a new foundation brush. My enabler friend, Deb, text messaged me and asked me if I heard about this brand of brushes on a podcast. They had a discount code. I bought some. This is the Anissa Pinnacle Foundation Brush. So see, it's like a triangle shape. I have been using this and I do actually really like it. I like the shape, how the 3 different points makes it easier to kind of get into the nooks and crannies around your nose. Other than that, I really just use it like I use every other foundation brush and stipple the product on. Okay, so this is with the product and this is without. So you can definitely see the redness that it covered up. There's still a little bit of redness that you can see. And again, hopefully that comes across on camera. Let's finish up the other side and we'll see if we can build it up. The SPF 15 in this product is a great bonus, but I would never suggest this being your only SPF product. And even if you did want to use this as your only SPF product, there's no way you could use enough to actually get even the small SPF 15 because of the formula and how thick it is compared to actual skincare SPFs. Okay, so I'm gonna see, I still have a little bit left on my hand. I'm gonna see if I can just target these areas where my redness is popping through and see if we can get a little bit more coverage on that. A little bit, but it's not, I mean, this is a tinted moisturizer, so it's not like I'm mad that I can't build up the coverage to higher. It's not claiming to have a lot of coverage. This is a product for someone that doesn't want a lot of coverage. They want to even out their skin tone, have a really pretty finish. So I would say it is a sheer to light, maybe even light medium. But again, when I put the two against each other, I did feel like the new one had a tad bit more coverage than the old, at least on me. Now for concealer, I'm doing this for the sake of the video and maybe it'll change my mind. I've only used this once, but I did not love it. This is a recommendation from one of y'all when I was talking about concealers and they said it's the only one that's ever worked for them. It's called Maxine's Revenge and it's basically the only product that is on that site. It's an indie brand and it is the French Face Concealer. So I purchased this. It says made for thin, full coverage for even radiant skin, 40 plus. Spread thin layer where needed with fingertips and then fluffy brush to blend. So I got the shade light beige. It's actually not very light, way darker than I thought it was gonna be. So keep that in mind if you want this to try this. I'm just gonna put a couple of dots because I'm thinking maybe that was my problem when I first tried it. My main kind of gripe with this concealer was the finish. It is very, very, very luminous on me. Maybe it won't come across as much now that I'm using less. I think maybe I just used too much. But it does have a luminous finish. If you don't like a luminous under eye, which I don't, then you know maybe this is one to stay away from. You can still see that luminosity that was added. See that right there? That's from the concealer. Now I'm gonna powder this down. I can't fathom wearing this without a powder personally because I don't like the luminosity, but I can just go ahead and tell you right now, I used way too much the first time I used this. So I will write down in the description box how this wore with just this much, but the finish alone puts me off of it a little bit, but that is a personal preference. So again, the wear makes a huge difference and I will put how that wears down below. Last couple of days, I have been setting my concealer with Westman Atelier powder. I can't remember who I watch on YouTube. She's from New Zealand. I just could listen to her talk all day. And she does luxury beauty and I will try to put her name on the screen or down below. She uses this to set her under eyes. And so I was like, I have it, let me try it. And I've used it for the past couple days and I didn't dislike it. So I'm gonna use it again today. Technically not a new product, but a new way to use it for me. Let me know what y'all think about the new Westman Atelier highlighter. I think it's Poda Peony maybe. Highlighter slash blush. Y'all, it is so pink. I almost thought about getting it, but then I was like, I just don't know that I would ever reach for that. It is, I mean, just all the marketing photos are just like, all I see is pink. But if you have it, if you got it, let me know what you think. I don't have a new powder, so I'm gonna use my favorite Fit Glow Bamboo powder. I do, however, have a new powder brush, again from Anissa Beauty. This is my friend Deb's favorite, she said, and it's mine too. It's the multi powder brush. and it is flat on one side and then has an edge like that. I really like this. It's soft, but it's not so soft where it doesn't actually lay the product down. And I mean, I can do one side of my face in like, what, 2 seconds? See that radiance? It's still coming from that concealer. I'm gonna use a highlight, but because I have a new one, but I really don't need one. For bronzer, Chantecaille, I'm gonna be using the Sunstone Real Bronze Absolute Sunstone, the new bronzer from Chantecaille, part of their Sunstone collection. I actually purchased this and then they sent it to me. So I gave the one that I purchased to a friend. I believe they have discontinued their bronzers that I love so much in the red packaging. And this is part of a limited edition collection. So I'm assuming they're gonna be bringing out maybe newer bronzers. This shade might be permanent, but this is part of the Sunstone collection. And this is definitely a more, I wanna say, it's more of a neutral / golden, which makes no sense, I know. It's definitely not as red as Goa, and it's more golden than Serena. Y'all, it's hard to explain. I don't need much of this. I do feel like it has a little bit more sheen than the ones in the red packaging, but it's still very pretty. It's just something that I personally use a light hand with. Blush. They also sent me one of their blushes from the Sunstone collection, and this is the one that I would have chosen for myself, so I was very excited. It's Energy, and it is the peachy golden one. The other one is more pink, and this is absolutely gorgeous. It is just my kind of blush. If you follow me for any amount of time, you know I gravitate towards peachy blushes more than I gravitate towards pink. I love them both, but peach is just a very strong love of mine. And it is actually quite a bit bigger in size than the Philanthropy blushes. Their other powder blushes, this has 4 grams of product, where the Philanthropy blushes have 2.5. For highlighter, I'm gonna use a new one from Surratt Beauty that I purchased. This is in Diamante. It's their Torche Lumiere. I know I said that wrong. And y'all, you can see I do not need a highlighter, but I'm gonna use one anyways. So again, this is Diamante, which is more of that champagne shade. Very, very pretty. Comes in a stick like most cream highlighters. There is like sheen in this in the form of a little bit bigger particles. When I swatch it on my hand, I don't really see them that much. And I really have to get into like my 10 times magnifying mirror, which is not always, I don't like this concealer. I know that's oh look, it's a squirrel moment, but I'm just telling y'all, I don't like it. Again, if I really want to investigate, I can get into my 10 times and see some particles. But other than that, like swatching it on my fingers, swatching it on my hand, looking at it in a mirror like this on my face, I don't see any of those setting themselves apart and making themselves known. So it's not going to be something that is like super chunky by any means. It's also not near as wet and tacky as the Westman Atelier or the Merit or the Victoria Beckham. It's more of a powder finish. So if you're someone who does not like that tacky feeling, but really likes the idea and concept of a cream highlight, I have been enjoying that one. Okay, so that is the skin done. Let's go on to the eyes. And I know that a lot of my previous videos have talked about single shadows and how I'm in the single shadow era and I just can't stop pulling for one shadow only, and that is true. However, I got sucked in to the YSL palette that's at the Nordstrom anniversary sale. This is the only beauty item that I purchased during the sale, but it's just something that I couldn't say no to. I love the Mini Couture clutch palettes. I have 2 of those and I really like the formula, but I bought this one mainly for the mattes because I just love the colors of the mattes. Some of these shimmer shades, especially this one, I don't necessarily see myself wearing that often. However, I'm not mad that it's in there. I swatched it on a story on my Instagram if you were able to see that. I will try to put it in a highlight so you can go back there and see it. I've worn this twice and I am not mad about getting it. And this does pop out the actual palette part or the shadow part, and you could use this as a clutch. Now it's not very thick. I would have to take my phone case off for the phone to fit in there. But if you just wanted to put like some cards and like a super skinny thin lip gloss, maybe you would be able to do that. So pretty. So I am going to use this shade right here, this peach shade. I used this yesterday. I did an all matte look. It was so pretty. And I'm going to use my Rephr 15 and put that in the crease. All I have on my eyes right now is the NARS Soft Matte Complete Concealer, which I prime my eyes with every day to get rid of discoloration. And then I set that down with my Jane Iredale Pure Pressed in Ivory. Now I am going to use one other product that is going to end up being covered. I wanted to showcase it anyways, and I just looked down at my table and realized that I meant to use a new corrector that I got. I got the Aeropress Lychee Cream Corrector, and I really meant to use that one. I'm kind of not mad about the fact that I used my dermatology, so I could really see how this under eye concealer worked. Ooh, it's just so luminous. Back to the eyes. Jillian Dempsey sent me a couple of products, one of which is a lid tint. I have used a lid tint before. I can't remember how long ago I got it. This is in the shade Glimmer. That's it right there. Cream product. I'm going to use this kind of underneath the next shadow that I'm going to use just on my lid. So you'll be able to see what it looks like by itself. This is a very tacky product. And from what I remember using the lid tint before, it doesn't necessarily set down. So if you have very oily eyelids that tend to crease, you're going to really want to prime well or just skip altogether. However, with the tacky nature, if you want to use these underneath a powder product that maybe in the past you've had issues with creasing, I think that would be a really good idea because it's really going to give it something to adhere to. It is a very pretty shade and it does catch the light very nicely because of the cream kind of tacky formula. But I just wanted to show that if you're someone who likes the idea of a lid tint like this. Now I am going to use one of the shimmer shades. I have not used a shimmer shade from this palette on my lid yet because I just love how the mattes work, but I'm gonna use this shade right here. I'm gonna start with a brush. I think the main effect is going to be with a finger, but I'm gonna kind of lay down that first layer, especially since I have that Jillian Dempsey lid tint on. And then I'll go in with my finger and kind of press it on. Definitely get the most pigment that way. It's pretty, I like it. Very, very happy with this purchase from the sale. It is, I didn't mention it's $100, and after the sale it's gonna be $160. Now I am gonna use a little bit of an eyeliner. I got one from Chanel because so many people were telling me that I needed a Chanel eyeliner. So I got Brun Agape because it's my kind of brown color. And I'm just gonna lightly line the lids. I'm not even gonna like smudge this out like I normally do. And I am gonna be doing another full face of Chanel because I purchased quite a few products from y'all's recommendations on my last one. And I will talk more about this there. But I just wanted to give a little bit of definition. And I haven't been doing much under my eyes, but I feel like I need something to deter from this concealer. So I'm just gonna use that peach matte shade and put a little bit under the eye. And this is the Sigma E42. For mascara, this is gonna be the first time I have ever used this particular mascara. It was sent to me by a brand called Finding Ferdinand, which is an indie brand, and this is their Lash Lift Mascara. I haven't even opened it to see. Okay, so the wand is the plastic bristles. It's a skinnier type wand. I am not going to be using a lash primer. When I try out new mascaras, I don't. So I'm gonna put 2 coats of this on my lashes and see what I think. And then because it's the first day of me wearing it, I already got it on my lid. I will definitely put notes down in the description box. Okay, so I'm looking at this and this is a tubing mascara, which tracks with that type of wand. I feel like most of my tubing mascaras have that type of wand. It is a more wet formula, so you know, take that for what it is. Sometimes people don't like that. It does make it a little easier to transfer onto the lids, but that happens to me every time, no matter what. So another thing that I will comment down in the description box is how this removed. how I felt like it was easy or not easy to remove, because tubing mascaras run the gamut for me. Some I love how easy they are, some they're not quite as easy as advertised, so I will put that down below. But this is 2 coats of the Finding Ferdinand Lash Lift Mascara. And the last thing before a perfume is lips, and I am trying to decide which one of these city lips I am going to use. I originally wanted to use one, and then with this look, I think the one that's gonna look the best is San Diego, which is the warm tone pink with a golden sheen, which I feel like is what my eyes are. So it's just gonna bring everything together. I can't tell you how much I love these. Yes, they are a little sticky, not enough to bother me. I feel like it becomes less sticky the longer I wear it, but I also feel like that is what helps it last so long on my lips. I do not have another lip gloss that lasts this long. I timed it not one of the last times I wore it, but I timed it for one of the last videos I talked about this in, and it lasted over 5 hours on me. Obviously, it wasn't as vibrant as it is now, but it was still there. I didn't feel like I needed to reapply. I had eaten during that time. I had talked a lot during that time. It just does not go anywhere. I love the shade selection. They're right up my alley. I wear them every single day. I wear some form of this every single day. I keep Tokyo Kiss in my purse and use that to reapply throughout the day. I can't recommend them enough, and I highly recommend doing the buy one, get one offer that's going on right now. Finally, let's talk about Perfume. Commodity sent over their Best of Milk perfume set that's available on Sephora, and this has expressive version of Milk. If you don't know, Commodity has 3 versions. They have a personal, an expressive, and a bold of each of their scents. I'm gonna link a video that Chad and I did smelling all of their scents where I picked my favorite, and this was up there. This is 1 fluid ounce, so it's a 30 ml, which is a very good size. And then it comes with a travel size of the Milk Bold. I like both of these. I think probably my favorite is the expressive. This is $75 on Sephora, and it's a $100 value. And Milk it's a marshmallow, tonka bean, sweet, powdery, cottony type fragrance. Very, very good. Chad really liked this one too. And since I have been wearing this one, after receiving this set, he has commented a couple times of how good I smell. So definitely worth checking out if you're interested in trying the Milk fragrance. I love it. It's sweet. It's not overbearing. So that's it. That is playing with new makeup. Let's talking about some of the new things that I've accumulated. I honestly like everything that I tried except the concealer. And again, I'll let you know on some of the new things like the mascara down in the description box. So let me know if you have any questions. Thank y'all so much for watching. Don't forget about the City Lips. Buy one, get one. I will have all that information down in the description box. Be sure and like and subscribe before you leave so you don't miss out on any future videos. And I hope you all go out and have a very blessed day.